Hi, and welcome to Awakening Lovers. My name is Ava, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes to invite you to the site and talk a bit about what it is. Basically, I made this program for people who feel like they don't fit. That was certainly my experience. I essentially got to my 30s and felt that enjoying sex just wasn't for me. You know, my own self-pleasure practices seemed to be getting deeper and richer, but when it came to actually having meaningful, pleasurable sex with others, it just wasn't happening. And I would look around online and it seemed like, there was either super wild, kinky, sexually liberated programs over here, or on the other side, there was like very spiritual, woo-woo, hippie stuff over here, which all seemed great, but just totally were not me. And, I'm like, I just need something that's like authentic and real to who I am and is going to meet me where I'm at. And so after many years of doing my own personal depth work and have had just amazing transformations in my own personal life, I founded Awakening Lovers because I am so passionate about sharing this with the world, sharing this with just people who are living their lives, who, maybe sex is good, the sex is okay, but, they've had tasters that sex can be more. You have an idea that, sex can be this thing that is amazing and you feel connected with the universe and your partner and your body and you're just totally in your body and free and everything's amazing. But for whatever reason, that's not quite happening right now, or at least in the context of your relationship, or maybe you're not in a relationship. So what do you do with that? And so I founded this 12-week program with a 4-night retreat at the end to really meet people where they're at and give them very practical, grounded tools to help them be able to be who they want to be in sex and be who they want to be in their relationships. So I'll talk a little bit of a brief overview of what the program looks like. I broke it into 3 parts because everyone's going to be coming in at a different point and maybe leaving at a different point. The first 8 weeks are a foundation course, and so really what that's doing is really healing the self. They say that our mind is our biggest sex organ, and that's certainly been my experience where I could get dissociated or get into my head and get really disconnected. And so it's really, the first 8 weeks are about healing you, building a strong foundation in your mind, in your heart, in your body, so that you're able to receive full-heartedly, you're able to be vulnerable, to connect, to set your boundaries, to communicate with your partner, and heal a lot of the things that might be holding you back with regards to sexuality or in your relationships. And then flash forward to the next program, level 2, which is going to be, it's 4 weeks, and it is all about desire and pleasure. So a lot of people come to me and they say, I don't really feel like I have sexual desire anymore. I don't really feel pleasure anymore. And I don't even know what to ask for. I don't even know how to tell my partner what I want because I don't know what I want. So then it's 4 weeks of deep diving into the body and really figuring out what feels good for you, finding new access points to pleasure, and then how do you communicate with that with your partner? And then how do you help your partner communicate their desires with you? So you're really starting to build this really beautiful back and forth, this really beautiful dance of giving and receiving. So a lot of people might be happy just to stop at that point, but there is always the adventurous souls that maybe want to start exploring more connection with the universe, sex and spirit and energy work and moving energy in the body. Perhaps you've heard about Taoist erotic massage and you're curious of what that might look like, what that's all about. So this is really going to be a very powerful retreat of focusing. Now that you've built a great foundation, you know what feels pleasurable to you, you know how to ask and communicate for what feels pleasurable for you, then, oh my gosh, okay, how do we then just take that out into the unknown, start really dancing in the amazing unknown transcendental unitive experiences of sexuality. So you might be wondering, okay, so, well, what even is somatic sex education? What's somatic coaching? How's that different from talk therapy or working with a sex therapist? So a brief overview of that is that in talk therapy, it's a lot, it's wonderful, it's great, but sex is active, sex is in the body, it's in the moment. And so in my experience, you could talk about how to parallel park a car, but if you've never actually done it, you're not really going to know how to do it. And so I find it's the same when it comes to sex, that working with us in somatic coaching, you're actually practicing how to stay grounded. You're actually practicing how to stay in your body, how to really attune with yourself and communicate from that point. So then perhaps when you're in the moment with a partner and you can know, you're like, oh, I'm starting to dissociate, or oh, I'm going into my head, or I'm shutting down. But, I've practiced this. I know what this feels like. And I know from practice what to do now, and so how to really bring myself back and get grounded with myself and stay connected with your partner through that experience. And so that's really the big difference, and that's what makes me so passionate about this field, is that it's really a whole body holistic healing modality, which is amazing. So I'm just going to finish off by talking a little bit about me and my experience. So what do you get by working with me? Not only am I bringing my experience in psychology and professional communications, but really above all that, the biggest thing in my life is that, I've lived at a meditation center since 2016, where I have trained daily with incredible awakening masters, Capel and Catherine Sensei. And through that modality, not only have I done immense meditation and mindfulness training, I do over a month of meditation retreat every year, but also at Clear Sky, the meditation center where I live, it's also very focused around the shadow and shadow integration. And so I have done so much depth work around myself and my healing my own shame and my own traumas and my own pain, that by doing that day in, day out for over 5 years, I am so comfortable and happy to be really holding people in that way, holding people in their vulnerabilities, in their pain, in their trauma. And it's my just life calling to do that with compassion and love and joy. And, you're not going to get that from a mindfulness app or a yoga class, which both are great. But, you're working with someone who is actively walking the path. And so if that is something that is interesting to you, or you'd like to learn more about it, then I would be so happy to have a 30-minute online complimentary consultation. So just click the button below to book that, and I would be so happy to meet you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.